Welcome to Inside the Creative Edge Studio. That's the name I gave it. I don't know. Heather, we'll fight that out later. We want to talk a little bit more. Well, first of all, I'm Jimmy DeGroat. I'm with Creative Edge Productions here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We have Heather Kaler from the Bell Agency in Green Bay here. You say Ashwaubenon, right?
I say Ashwaubenon because it's technically located in Ashwaubenon. We're the home of the Green Bay Packers.
But it's not the Ashwaubenon Packers.
It's Green Bay. It's not, but they're located. I know it's going to be one of those fights.
And we have Kurt Kraus, and Kurt works with both Heather and us here at Creative Edge. So
we kind of pull at him.
He's an amazing actor. Look at this face. Who would not want to pull at that? So last time we covered some basics of acting, kind of 101, what to expect on set. This time, let's go into perhaps a little bit more of giving the production company, giving the director exactly what they're looking for, and then and your thoughts on that. Really interested in that. So, if we can, what I've learned a lot with my partner Tony. Tony is our director of cinematography here, and what Tony has forced me to do is say before we go into a production, is we will sit down and like, what's the mood? What's the outcome? What feeling do we want? How do we want the audience to feel? And then Tony directs that with his cinematography, with his lighting, lenses, and etc. He's got his tools and talent that he did. And then it comes to us. So once we have you lit properly, once we have everything the way it's supposed to be, you're on set. I will typically, as I mentioned in the last one, I will sit down beforehand and say, here is what we're after, and here's what we're looking to get. And then, of course, get your ideas on that and kind of collaborate. Tell us a little bit maybe of an instance where you showed up on set and maybe you were a little uncomfortable with it, but you gave them what they were looking for. Do you have any instances like that, or are you ever put in situations like that as an actor? You feel a little awkward?
I think anytime you're with a new crew, it can be a little difficult to, again, like working with you and Tony. I know what you guys are looking for. I know your method, your communication. If it's a straight up new crew and how to read people, that takes a little time. So, arriving on set, the first thing I do usually is introduce myself. I'm Kurt Kraus. I'm here as your talent. Meet the director, meet some other folks who are involved, and then I wait until I'm either approached or they want to change something about how I'm doing something. At that point, then I curb whatever it is I'm doing to do directly what the director is asking me to do.
Yep.
And if I have suggestions, it's usually after the takes they want, and say, did you want this? Did you like everything about it? If there's one thing that we wanted to tweak, what would it be? And
yep.
And sometimes too, if they give you like the overview of, hey, this is kind of what we're looking for, and for instance, they may give you a direction. Hey, I want you to walk from here. Like I was working on set. And they said, we're doing this backyard scene, and you're with your husband or significant other. You're going to be grilling out. So we want you to walk over to him. He's going to hand you, something from the barbecue. Sometimes taking a few extra, liberties as an actor really end up working. Because I kind of look at it as this wasn't really my husband. It isn't really my significant other. But if it was, I'd probably walk up to him and maybe I would touch him. Mm-hmm. Now, they didn't tell me to touch him. But I did, just instinctually thinking how I would react. And they're like, oh, that was a really nice touch. That really looked like you guys were in love or together. So sometimes just knowing the mood and putting yourself, like, how would you really react? I know I'm going to walk over there, but that just seemed really almost stale. Like walking over there, here's my plate, give me that corn on the cob, and just kind of putting myself in that moment, touching his arm and laughing like I normally would. So
that's one of the things that's interesting that I see is directors that over-direct and try to tell you every little movement to make. That usually turns out looking very mechanical.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I love hearing is, what do you want? and then you giving me what I want. And that's cool.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I'm selfish, I don't know, but who doesn't love to hear, what do you want? And so, but I love hearing that.
But I think sometimes too, actors are like, should I do it just exactly like that, or should I take that extra step,
Yeah.
to do
I think
that?
the creative, my favorite is the creative freedom to go ahead and do that. And it's a lot of fun. And like I said, working with Tony here and the crew at Creative Edge and a lot of our clients, it's really fun when all of a sudden you do that and then that triggers something. And then Tony will say, hey, what about this idea? And so, sometimes shoots are fairly open and we can do that. We've got the time to do that. And then sometimes shoots are pretty rigid, like, nah, we just got to do what we got to do and you go home. So.
And I think too, it's just communication, because sometimes I think maybe the actors come on set and are given direction and then they just do like that specific direction only. Whereas if like, hey, can I take a couple liberties? I'm still going to do those actions that you want, but can I, make it feel like it's more natural to me? Or even with some of the dialogue, sometimes how it's written doesn't feel natural to me. That's not how I would say it. So just knowing, can I just tweak that a little bit? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Like I had shot a short film, and ironically, my husband got cast in it as well. We really didn't get any direction, like how they wanted us to do it, besides, hey, we want you to walk over from the window and then go to the back of the house. So just naturally, because it was us, we're grabbing each other's hand and we're just doing all those little things that you would do as a couple. And then in the end, the director's like, I don't know how I'm going to direct anyone after you, because you made it too easy. I don't know how to direct anyone anymore, because we just did those little things that you would that you would normally, I guess, do either in a relationship or in a setting, like a hospital setting, when we're doing just, those things. So.
Yeah, and that's beautiful, because you've pre-thought what this character should do and how they act and how you act in a normal life setting, and you bring that to the set, and that's wonderful.
And I think that just too comes back to preparation, being prepared before you go, out on set.
And I just want to, I think we should close out fairly soon here, but I want to bring up one other thought, and that is when the director goes cut. Sometimes, if the actors are fairly comfortable on set, as soon as we go cut, everybody starts yapping and throwing in their jokes and their sexual innuendos and things like that. You know what I mean? And so, just for me, we all know that time is money. So my suggestion, and you guys already know this, but my suggestion to you folks is that, especially when you're starting out, is yes, feel comfortable on set, get into your role, but when cut is called, kind of shut up and just wait, because like I said, sometimes there's gaffers and there's grips and there's their customer. Customer may feel a little awkward, and so they want to have a joke. And my suggestion is always cut. Don't go into chaos. Don't everybody feel like that's their time to party.
Obviously take a breath and relax. But that's a great point to bring up, because sometimes you may end up working with the same production company a few times and you have that kind of comfort level. But like Jimmy said, there's different clients and you don't know who's going to be there and what their level of comfort is, and they don't know you, and you really want to be putting your best foot forward and being professional.
Well, and you want to stay in character. You want to stay. You want to stay in that moment until, that's a wrap is called, right?
Although there are some times where I was on set and I had to be in character, very stoic and solemn and no excitement whatsoever. And then they yell cut and they start joking around with me.
Yeah.
So then I'm laughing. They're like, okay, and we're rolling. And now all of a sudden it's like, you got to get back quickly, hurry,
You do what you got.
And that's really like the test of like, what kind of actor are you? Can you just get back? Because sometimes you have literally seconds to just sink right back into that. And it can be difficult. And that's sometimes, for newer people especially, something you're going to have to practice, because you have to go from being on, off, just, switching on and off. So.
Well, let's wrap it here, right? Let's wrap it up here. And thanks, guys, because this is so helpful to kind of learn how to be an actor, and what to expect on set. So if you guys like this, we'll do more of this. So perhaps look for more videos down the road. For more information on our companies, you can go ahead and click on the information down below. And thanks, guys.
See you soon.